Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. As you know, as you can see on the screen, I am going to make a video for those who are preparing for secondary level English subject examination. I want to assure all of you that this video will be equally important for secondary and primary level, lower secondary, especially lower secondary and primary level examination. Okay, that this video is equally important for secondary and primary level examinations. I will provide you short tips and techniques regarding to how to write answers effectively. Okay, I'm going to use both Nepali and English language to describe the questions, model question especially. So I will upload videos on the first paper. Okay, that is including IQ and GK. I am planning to make video for science subject as well. Okay, after this video I will make video regarding the science subject as well, that especially on the basis of the questions published by TSC, model question published by TSC. Okay, let me take all of you to the main part of this video, that is the model question. Okay, you can see on the screen the first questions that is prepared by the Teacher Service Commission. That is the model questions. I think you all have gone through these questions. Okay, now today I'm going to discuss on these questions. I'm not I don't want to say that this answer is a perfect one, but I have tried to give the answer to these questions consulting the various books, not only book. Okay, but not only one book. So I have consulted many books that are associated with these questions. So it is not generally good to adapt or follow only one book, and especially in these questions it is try to touch the various parts, okay, of the stated problem over here. Okay, let me explain in Nepali as well a little bit. Okay, यो क्वेसनमा चाहिँ दुईटा पार्ट तपाईले अन्डरलाइन हुन्छ. द फर्स्ट पार्ट चाहिँ अगाडिको तपाईको के छ, ब्याकग्राउन्ड. द फर्स्ट part of the questions is trying to put some background for the reader or those who are appearing in the test. So look at here. First, while dealing with the questions, you have to go through the questions. That means you have to read the questions first of all, in very detail. So what is the question over here? Students face problems in learning and using English across context. So here across context means different context. Okay, so the students will learn certain language functions in the given context, but they face problem when they have to use those skills or language functions while using in different context. These problems occur when there is lack of real life context in which English is used. Look at here. Here you have given the actual reason or causes why students are facing problems in learning and using English across context. That is given here. You can see I have bold this statement over here. When there is a lack of what? Real life context in which English is used. That means while answering these questions, we have to focus on how to use, when to use, yes, real life context, especially dealing with English language. So this is the background. That is the reason. So on the basis of this ground, or this fact, we have to write the answer. So we have to go ahead with the question to deal it as a language teacher. So if you are a language teacher, discuss how you can help students learn the language function. So actual problem, what question is asking is here. So here are the two questions especially. The first question is how you can help students learn the language function by creating favorable environment. So in the first part you have to give the certain techniques or methods that you are going to use in the classroom to teach the language function. That means while teaching you have to create favorable environment, suitable environment. That means you have to change the setting of the classroom. That means you have to maybe the role model or the dramatization maybe over there, because you have to create the context. And if you are going to create certain context, you have to change the environment of class accordingly. And describe how you plan your activities. Now, first of all, you have to give the certain techniques, models, that methodologies. But in second part, you have to what? You have to give your plan. That's like a lesson plan. And that means plan your activities to teach five different language functions. So in this, while answering these questions, you have to provide five different language functions on the basis of that secondary level curriculum. That means you have to also go through the curriculum. What are the language functions are prescribed over there by the CDC, Curriculum Development Centers. So with at least one context. That is the reason you have to create one context. So you have to imagine one context in the classroom. That means you have to render a classroom situation that you are going to handle, and in that classroom you have to teach the what? Language functions with favorable or suitable environment or context. So that context should include at least five language functions. Oh, that is the case. है यो कुरा चाहिँ यसमा भनेको छ। अब यो चाहिँ क्वेसनको बारेमा फर्स्ट वी हेभ टु नो द वाट इज द क्वेसन्स फर्स्ट देन है। अब त्यसपछि चाहिँ अलि नेपालीमा पनि डिल गर्छु, अरू क्वेसनको लागि पनि एप्रोप्रिएट हुनसक्छ नेपालीमा डिल गर्दाखेरि। सो क्वेसनलाई त फर्स्ट के गर्नु पर्यो, राम्रोसँग ह्यान्डल गर्नु पर्यो, बुझ्नु पर्यो, अनि अन्डरलाइन गर्नुहोस् के चाहिँ सोध्न खोजेको छ। त्यसले चाहिँ तपाईँलाई के गर्छ, द्याट अन्डरलाइन restrict you if you are going beyond the questions. हाम्रो के बानी छ, मोस्ट अफ दी लर्नर्स भनौँ एक्जामिनर्सको बानी चाहिँ के छ भन्दाखेरि फर्स्टमा चाहिँ ल्याङ्ग्वेज के अरे क्वेसन स्टडी गर्यो, अनि क्वेसन चाहिँ राम्रोसँग नबुझिकन आफूलाई के आउँछ अनि त्यही आएकोलाई चाहिँ टन्न लेख्ने चलन छ। द्याट इज नट गुड ह्याबिट। सो यु हेभ टु अन्डरलाइन द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेन्ट पार्ट अफ द questions that restrict you within the boundary that question is asking to you answer. So अब क्वेसन लेख्दाखेरि चाहिँ स्पेशली 10 नम्बरको क्वेसनको लागि चाहिँ TSC वा PSC पब्लिक सर्भिस कमिसन भनौँ जे भन्ने पनि के गर्छ भन्दाखेरि 10 नम्बर क्वेसनको लागि एटलिस्ट हाउ मच यु हेभ टु राइट भन्ने क्वेसनमा चाहिँ एटलिस्ट यु हेभ टु राइट 2 पेजेस एन्सर। कम्तीमा चाहिँ 2 पेजको चाहिँ एन्सर चाहिँ तपाईहरुले लेख्नुपर्छ। ओके, कसैले लेख्ने भन्दाखेरि कसैले बुदागत रूपमा लेख्न पनि सक्छ, कसैले बुलेटको रूपमा लेख्न पनि सक्छ। बट वाट इज द इम्पोर्टेन्ट केस इज गिभ अ टाइटल टु यर एन्सर्स, द्याट इज द होइन मोस्ट रिलायबल वान। यसरी लेख्दा चाहिँ राम्रो हुनसक्छ। हरेकको यु मे ह्याभ द डिफ्रेन्ट or your one style of writing answers, but my suggestion is start with the certain title. That titles you can take from the questions as well. So look at here, context and language functions. So these questions is related with context and language functions. So I have given the title context and language functions. So this is the number 1, that is the board title or the statement of the problem. Now 1.1, now statement of problem. What problem is raised in the questions? We are going to deal that, and we are going to, this is also called background setting of the questions. So it is better to start with a certain background setting while dealing with the answers. So look at here, 1.1 statement or problem. So adapting a foreign language over mother tongue is not being feasible for secondary level students. So I have prepare this answer in the lab in my laptop. So certain grammatical, you have to consider certain grammatical mistakes. Okay, you can suggest me as well. Uh, okay. Obviously, there are various determinants or the factors that can affect mode and pace of learning. Mode of learning and pace, speed of learning and acquiring a language. Some could be so look at here, यहाँ चाहिँ के भन्न खोजेको छ भन्दाखेरि एफेक्ट त गर्छ नि होइन लर्निङ र एक्वायरिङलाई चाहिँ अब फरेन ल्याङ्ग्वेज चाहिँ मदर टङमा हुँदाहुँदै फरेन ल्याङ्ग्वेज सिक्नु चाहिँ इट इज नट फिजिबल एन्ड इट इज नट इजी फर एनी ल्याङ्ग्वेज लर्नर्स नट ओन्ली नेपाली ल्याङ्ग्वेज लर्नर्स सम कुड बी अब त्यो के हुनसक्छ त जसले चाहिँ इम्प्याक्ट गरिरहेछ भेराइटी एन्ड क्वान्टिटी अफ एक्सपोजर कुन चाहिँ एक्सपोजर कस्तो पायो त लर्नरले कति मात्रामा एक्सपोजर पायो कन्टेक्स्ट अर इन्भाइरोमेन्ट अफ ल्याङ्ग्वेजेस होइन हामीले यसलाई डिल गर्दैछौँ वाट इज कन्टेक्स्ट अर इन्भाइरोमेन्ट अफ ल्याङ्ग्वेजेस रियल लाइफ एक्सपिरियन्स एन्ड मोटिभेसन द्याट इज द इम्पोर्टेन्ट पार्ट अफ दिस क्वेसन्स हामीले चाहिँ रियल लाइफ एक्सपिरियन्समा बेस भएको कस्तो खालको इनपुट अर एक्सपोजर चाहिँ लर्नरलाई चाहिँ प्रोभाइड गरेका छ होइन त्यसैको आधारमा चाहिँ जस्तो एसएलए सेकेन्ड ल्याङ्ग्वेज एक्विजिसनमा यी कुराहरू आउँछ मैले अघि नै भने दिस एन्सर इज नट बेस्ड अन only one book or point of view. So in the case of English language learning, context plays the vital role. In context a vital role played not only to provide clear notion of language function, but also to imprint the use of language in the learner's brain. होइन यो रियल ल्याङ्ग्वेज सिचुएसन अर इन्भाइरोमेन्टले त के गर्छ ब्रेनमा इम्प्रिन्ट गर्छ भन्छ होइन नन संस्कृतको ट्याबुलर र साथ छ we have language learner भएपछि आई थिङ्क वी हेभ गन थ्रु द्याट वान हो त्यहाँ चाहिँ इम्प्रिन्ट गर्ने चाहिँ काम कसले गर्छ त भन्दा रियल लाइफ सिचुएसनले गर्छ ट्रिगर गर्छ भन्छ अझ नन चम्स्कीले सो त्यो कुरालाई पनि याद गर्नु पर्यो नाउ 1.2 धेरै ब्याकग्राउन्ड चाहिँ धेरै लेखिरहनु परेन डाइरेक्टली केमा हामीले फोकस गर्नु पर्यो वाट इज द क्वेसनमा फोकस गर्नु पर्यो सो अब 2-4 लाइन चाहिँ ब्याकग्राउन्ड दिने बित्तिकै आई एम गोइङ टु deal with the what is the question given in the model question. Yes, so what is the first part of the question? I have just here underlined how you can help students learn language function by creating favorable environment. अब हामीले चाहिँ कसरी चाहिँ उनीहरूलाई के गर्न सक्छौं त ल्याङ्ग्वेज फंक्सन सिकाउने हैन फेभरेबल इन्भाइरोमेन्ट भनेको सुइटेबल इन्भाइरोमेन्ट यहाँ किन सुइटेबल इन्भाइरोमेन्ट भन्यो भन्दाखेरि अब यसको डिस्कस म यहाँ गर्ने नै छु सबैभन्दा पहिला कन्टेक्स्टलाई डिफाइन गरौँ यो थ्योरेटिकल पार्ट हो ओके हियर कन्टेक्स्ट मिन्स द सिचुएसन अर इन्भाइरोमेन्ट where language is being used हैन जुन ल्याङ्ग्वेज जुन सिचुएसनमा र कन्टेक्स्ट इन्भाइरोमेन्टमा चाहिँ ल्याङ्ग्वेज युज भइरहेछ त्यसलाई हामीले कन्टेक्स्ट भन्छौं कन्टेक्स्ट र चाहिँ हामीलाई चाहिँ ल्याङ्ग्वेजलाई चाहिँ एसोसिएटेड गर्यो भने त्यो चाहिँ प्र्याक्टिकल युज अफ ल्याङ्ग्वेज हुन्छ भन्छ हैन अब अकर्डिङ टु हार्मर यहाँ चाहिँ तपाईले हार्मर मात्र हैन अरु राइटर नम चम्स्की पनि हुन सक्छ अरु यससँग सम्बन्धित अरु एक्सपर्टहरुको कुरा राख्न सक्नुहुन्छ यो चाहिँ राख्नै पर्ने हुन्छ किनभने यसले आन्सरलाई चाहिँ अथेन्टिकेट गर्छ हैन आन्सर चाहिँ यसले चाहिँ के गर्छ बडी थ्योरेटिकल बेस वा यसले चाहिँ अझ भनौं न यो आन्सर लेख्नेले चाहिँ बुक पढेको छ विभिन्न एक्सपर्टहरुको भ्यू पनि यसलाई थाहा छ थ्योरेटिकल ब्याकग्राउन्ड छ भन्नको लागि चाहिँ दैट इज द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेन्ट पार्ट है पछि यसलाई कसरी के ह्यान्डल गर्ने भन्ने कुरा अर्को भिडियोमा म ट्रिक तपाईहरुलाई दिने नै छु अकर्डिङ टु हार्मर द कन्टेक्स्ट इज द सिचुएसन इन व्हिच it means here language is set अब जहाँ चाहिँ ल्याङ्ग्वेज सेट अटर गरेको छ एन्ड व्हाट द स्पिकर वान्ट्स पीपल टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड त्यो कुरा चाहिँ ल्याङ्ग्वेज के कन्टेक्स्टले डिसाइड गर्छ हुन त यो कुरा प्राग्मेटिक्स तिर पनि जान्छ अब प्राग्मेटिक्सलाई धेरै यहाँ फोकस गरेको छैन क्वेशनमा दैट्स व्हाई आई एम नट गोइङ टु डिल विथ द प्राग्मेटिक्स राइट नाउ हियर अरु मोडल क्वेशनमा त्यो पनि डिस्कस हुने नै छ in order to so I have suggest you while dealing with every questions please try to give the view of certain experts त्यसको लागि चाहिँ तपाईहरुले के गर्नुस् करिकुलम हेरेर करिकुलम प्रत्येक करिकुलममा एउटा एक्सपर्टको नाम लेख्नुस् प्रत्येक करिकुलम भनेको प्रत्येक करिकुलमको हेडिङ हुन्छ नि त जस्तो रिडिङ टिचिङ स्पिकिङ टिचिङ दैट लिटरेचर ती सब हेडिङहरुमा चाहिँ एउटा एक्सपर्ट जस्तो कि यो टिचिङ स्पिकिङ टिचिङ रिडिङ फोर स्किल्स छ नि त हाम्रो 4R भन्छ त्यो 4R को लागि चाहिँ जेरेमी हार्मरको हाउ टु टिच इङ्ग्लिस बुकमा छ त्यो कुराहरू, त्यसलाई चाहिँ एउटा कोटेसन बनाएरै प्रत्येक टपिकमा त्यो लेख्नुभयो भने अनि त्योसँग सम्बन्धित एन्सर आउँदाखेरि त्यो स्टेटमेन्ट चाहिँ हजुरले लेख्न सक्नुहुन्छ. That's my tips for you. In order to choose a favorable environment for suitable environment for secondary level students, the teachers have to be very cautious, careful on various factors, and have to go through detailed study of students. Students को detailed study गर्नु पर्यो. You have to study the that students who is the learner, yes, and how is the conceptual or aptitude status of the given students. You have to know that. अब कस्तो कस्तो फ्याक्टरलाई चाहिँ याद गर्ने त यहाँ क्वेसनले डिल गरेको छ नि हैन. हाउ यु भनेको छ नि, कसरी तपाईले चाहिँ फेभरेबल इन्भाइरोमेन्ट सेट गर्नुहुन्छ भन्दाखेरि तल दिएको फ्याक्टरको आधारमा है. पहिला फ्याक्टर भनेको एज ग्रुपको आधारमा चाहिँ हामीले के गर्नु पर्यो, कन्टेक्स्ट इन्भाइरोमेन्ट सेटिङ गर्नु पर्यो हैन, एजको आधारमा. जस्तो हामी चाहिँ बेसिक लेभल वा सेकेन्डरी लेभल स्टुडेन्ट्सलाई चाहिँ टिच गर्दैछौँ, क्लास लिँदैछौँ भने त एकदम हाई मिनिङ भएको हैन, प्राग्मेटिक्स खालको डिस्कोर्स एनालाइसिस, डिटेल डिस्कोर्स एनालाइसिस भएको, डिप मिनिङ भनौँ न, अब इन्फरेन्सियल मिनिङ डिड्युस गर्ने खालको चाहिँ कन्टेक्स्ट इन्भाइरोमेन्ट चाहिँ हामीले सेट गर्नु हुँदैन भन्छ यसले एज ग्रुपको आधारमा. इट इज द वान अफ द मेजर फ्याक्टर द्याट निड्स टु किप इन माइन्ड वाइल सेलेक्टिङ अ कन्टेक्स्ट. इफ द कन्टेक्स्ट अर सिचुएसन इज कोरिलेटेड विथ एज फ्याक्टर हैन, एज फ्याक्टरसँग कोरिलेटेड गर्यो भने द स्टुडेन्ट्स अर लर्नर्स विल इन्टरटेन इट. हो, कन्टेक्स्टलाई चाहिँ इन्टरटेन गर्छ. जब उसले इन्टरटेन गर्न थाल्छ सो इन्डाइरेक्टली ऊ चाहिँ के गर्छ, लर्निङ गर्छ भन्छ यसले. अनि इन्ट्रेस्ट हेरौँ अर्कोमा. अर्को फ्याक्टर, हाउ वी आर गोइङ टु सेट द favorable or create the favorable environment. We are going to create the favorable environment on the basis of given factor. First one is age group, second one is interest. Students may have various interest, so the teacher need to analyze the student interest and can form the group accordingly. It would be easy to select language function, situation, character. So look at the character हैन. यहाँ चाहिँ क्यारेक्टर भनेको कस्तो खालको क्यारेक्टर चाहिँ चुज गर्ने हो त हैन. सानो लेभलको भए चाहिँ कार्टुनको क्यारेक्टर युज गर्नु पर्यो, यही हो रियल लाइफ सिचुएसन भनेको के. जस्तो सानो बच्चाहरूले चाहिँ कार्टुनसँग डिल गरिरहेको हुन्छ भने त्यही क्यारेक्टर चाहिँ उनीहरूको रियल लाइफ कन्भर्सेसनमा आयो भने दे विल बी एक्साइटेड, मोटिभेटेड, अर देयर माइन्ड विल बी ट्रिगर्ड वान हैन, ट्रिगर्ड हुन सक्छ भने. अब माथिल्लो सेकेन्डरी लेभलको चाहिँ कस्तो खालको चाहिँ क्यारेक्टर युज गर्ने त भन्दाखेरि maybe from the गेमबाट लिनुहुन्छ नि क्रिस्टियानो रोनाल्डो, मेसी. इफ यु आर युजिङ खालि हामी चाहिँ के गर्छौँ, राम हरि जस्तो टाइपको डायलगमा चाहिँ ड्रामामा पनि अनि एसे राइटिङ भयो, कन्भर्सेसन राइटिङ हरेकमा चाहिँ हाम्रो चाहिँ त्यस्तै खालको चाहिँ के आउँछ त भन्दाखेरि क्यारेक्टरहरू आउँछ. बट यु हेभ टु प्लट द क्यारेक्टर, yes, on the basis of the interest of the students. त्यसको लागि you can divide the, अहिले यहाँ आउँछ, you can तपाईले एड पनि गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ, you can divide the whole class on the basis of their interest. For example, poem lovers group, story lover groups, football lover groups, and you have to design the characters according that group. अनि त्यो चाहिँ के भयो त, क्रिएटिङ फेभरेबल इन्भाइरोमेन्ट भयो हैन, उनीहरूले खोजेको इन्भाइरोमेन्ट भयो नि त. हो, यही भन्छ. अनि अर्को एप्टिट्युड एन्ड कग्निटिभ लेभल भन्छ. सो इट इज द मेन पार्ट. यो पोइन्टले तपाईँलाई भनिसक्यो एप्टिट्युड लेभल के छ, उनीहरूको कग्निसन लेभल हैन, ल्याङ्ग्वेजले नो ब्रेनले प्रोसेस गर्ने लेभल कुन हदसम्म छ, यु हेभ टु नो द्याट हैन. अब त्यो उनीहरूको क्षमता, एबिलिटी, एप्टिट्युड, कग्निटिभ लेभललाई हेर्ने पनि वी हेभ टु डिजाइन द कन्टेक्स्ट. नेचर अफ ल्याङ्ग्वेज फङ्सन्स हैन. अब हामीले कस्तो टाइपको चाहिँ ल्याङ्ग्वेज फङ्सन चाहिँ उनीहरूलाई ट्रिट गर्नुपर्ने हो, स्पेसली दिनुपर्ने हो है, त्यो पनि पहिल्यै टिचरले चाहिँ स्टडी गरेको हुनु पर्यो, थाहा भएको हुनु पर्यो. त्यसको आधारमा वी क्यान चुज द ल्याङ्ग्वेज फङ्सन. युज अफ मोटिभेटिङ टुल्स है, मोटिभेटिङ टुल्सको कुरा पनि आउँछ. एन्ड सेल्फ रियलाइजेसन एन्ड इभ्यालुएसन. अब यस्तो कन्टेक्स्ट युज गर्नु पर्यो कि जहाँ चाहिँ लर्नर्स आफैले सेल्फ रियलाइजेसन गर्न सकोस् वाट दे आर रिडिङ एन्ड गोइङ थ्रु. एन्ड इट इज नट द पार्ट अफ टिचर टु इभ्यालुएट देयर आउटपुट्स अर पर्फर्मेन्स. let the students to evaluate themselves. यो लाइन तपाईले यसमा मिसाउन पनि सक्नुहुन्छ, राख्न पनि सक्नुहुन्छ. फेरि भन्दैमा मैले अघि भनिसकेँ रेस्ट्रिक्ट गर्दै जानुपर्छ. फेरि 2 पाना भन्दा माथि 2 पाना 3 पाना लेख्न थाल्नुभयो भने टाइम त फेरि तपाईको एउटै क्वेसनको लागि चाहिँ कम्तीमा हैन चाहिएको टाइम भन्दा चाहिँ बोर्डर क्रस गर्यो भने त अर्कोको लागि चाहिँ हामीलाई के पर्छ, टाइम पुग्दैन. सो टाइम म्यानेजमेन्ट इज द की कन्सेप्ट है, टाइम म्यानेजमेन्ट चाहिँ हुनु पर्यो. Ways for stimulating real life context to enhance the learning पोसिबल्ली कुड बी हैन। अब यहाँ चाहिँ अब तरिका भन्छ हैन, कसरी चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ रियल लाइफ कन्टेक्स्ट चाहिँ स्टिमुलेट गर्न सक्छौं त हैन, रेन्डर गर्न सक्छौं त क्लासरुममा। यी कुरा चाहिँ फर्स्ट भनेको फ्याक्टर्स, यी कुराहरूलाई चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ के गर्नु पर्यो, किप वी हेभ टु टेक इन माइन्ड। अनि त्यसपछि अर्को तरिका भनेको मुभी रिलेटेड कन्टेक्स्ट एन्ड ल्याङ्ग्वेज फङ्सन हो। यो चाहिँ रिसेन्टली चाहिँ भन्छ नि अब न्यू नर्मल, कोरोना पछिको न्यू नर्मलमा चाहिँ हाउ वी क्यान एडप्ट दि ल्याङ्ग्वेज लर्निङ भन्ने कुरा यसमा मैले चाहिँ इन्कर्पोरेट गरेको छु। फर एक्जाम्पल मुभी रिलेटेड कन्टेक्स्ट एन्ड ल्याङ्ग्वेज फङ्सन्स, not only from the books हैन, movie related they can learn different things from the movie as well, because this is the language learning, not fact learning especially. So movie related context and language functions, you can take the certain video clips from the movie and you can use in the class. And sports related context and language functions, so you those students who are cricket lovers, you can let them to watch a 1 hour cricket game, that ODI or T20 game, and after that let them ask to explain on their own how the game is proceeding forward. That is the sport related context. That is the real life context. We are dealing with the questions. So literature related, poem, story, drama, those who are literature lover, especially poem, story, drama lover, whatever. So you can use literature related context, mobile and computer based context, game based context, that PUBG, I'm talking about the PUBG, but the language used in the PUBG also trigger the mind of the students. That is the real life, but we have to restrict such type of games. But in sometimes we can use such language of such game as well. Okay. There are various other types of games like footballs or the games generally the students used to play in the class or at the school, whatever. Yes, and day-to-day activity based. So asking the pain, yes, and that asking the pains and different things, and that sending the sympathy, condolences. Yes, these are the tools you can use in real life context. That newspapers, yes, magazines, and day-to-day activity based means what they used to do at their home, how they are asking for the food with their mother, yes, and how they are going to settling down the problem between your brother and sisters with father or mothers. That is the day-to-day activity. So peer, now look at here, professional based. That means sometimes we may see the questions in that activity in our grade 10 books, 11 books, or 12 books, English books, professional based. That means if you are a teacher, that is the profession. If you are a doctor and you have got a patient, how you deal with the problem of the patient, that is the professional based. That is also real life one. Peer group based, that means how they are interacting with their friends, that is called peer group based. That means the subject or the situation or the context that is between the their friends, you can use such topics as the real life context. So that is the first part. Okay, that is the first part regarding what the question. Now we are moving the second part, because I'm dealing with this question a little bit fast because the video is going okay longer than expected. So planning 5 different language function with context. Look at here. In the question we have been asked. Let me take you to the questions. The second part, how you plan your activities to teach 5 different language functions with at least one context. Yes. So here you can also, in the first part we have defined the context. In the second part we are going to define the language functions, because we have to give the theoretical background. Language functions are the purposes for which human beings speak or write. Okay, according to Harmer again, a language function is a purpose you wish to achieve when you say or write. Yes, he further claims that performing, look at here, performing the function, you are performing an act of communication, that is called language functions. So following 5 language functions are included in planning. So according to the question, yeah, giving the 5 language functions: suggesting, requesting, reporting, making a confirmation, asking for information. Now we are going to give the plan steps to plan language functions. Mode of presenting language function, how we can present our language function: inductive or deductive. So you have to choose, a teacher has to choose which modes. So practicing language functions, how they are going to practice, students are going to practice language functions, either receptive or productive. That means either they are going to listen or either they are going to write something, either or. Yes. Now stages of planning, so that is ESA model: engage, study and activate. That is based on Jeremy Harmer's book How to Teach English. So engage, so in this stage the teacher introduces about the context and language functions. Teacher asks students, now this is the real lesson plan, okay, that you are going to use in the classroom. So look at here. Teacher asks students to go through the context and setting their mind up to the context. So in these sections, teacher builds the environment. Yes, the teacher is not directly taking the students to the context or questions or the purpose of the classroom, but before that, the teacher is going to create the environment. This is the first stage of teaching language function, in which the teacher presents language functions either in a dialogue form or creating a context. This stage is the pre-stage or communicative activity stage. Okay, in this stage, the teacher has a discussion with the students regarding possible exponents for language function to be taught. Adhikari 2012, you can include these experts' views, but it is not always necessary for that. Adhikari 2012, but at least while defining the certain key terms, you have to use the experts' views or definitions. Says the contextualization, that means you are forming the context, identification of participants who are going to participate, motivation, you have to motivate your students, and preparation and description of social settings. Look at here, this social setting means real life setting of the language use are the some activities that you can use here. For above mentioned language functions, a conversation at hotel. Look at above mentioned means I have already mentioned here 5 language functions. For teaching these language functions, okay, I have a tools over here, that is a conversation. Okay, you can also give an example of story or poem, but I think the forming dialogue will be easy in the examination hall. So now this is the story section. I have already told you that I am following ESA model: engage, study. We are in study part. Students are asked to go through the conversation and the video will play in the class. So look at here. You can allocate the time. Students are asked to go through the conversation 5 minutes. The video will play in the class 2 or 3 minutes. Yes, and then discussion 2 or 3 minutes. You can allocate your time. Okay, that will makes your answer more practical one, and the examiner will think that this is the practical lesson plan, and he will positively, yeah, yes, motivated to give you marks. So conversation about booking a hotel room. So I'm not going to read this conversation. You can write this conversation. Otherwise, I'm going to provide the PDF for rupees 10, this answer sheet. So I will give you my phone number, mobile number, then you can send me the 10 rupees, then I can provide you this PDF as the PDF. That means you can print it, not this one, not only this one. Okay, I'm going to prepare the answers of different models question provided by TSC or world model question, or I'm going to create on my one. So please, if you support me, okay, I'm going to prepare more model answers. Okay, look at here. So please go through this conversation on your one. And number B, what we are going to do, this is not B, this is a subheading of this study. Okay, in case there is no subheadings, but in study, number A, that is first subheadings, and number B, second subheadings. So students are encouraged to do role play. After watching the video, they are going to perform as the receptionist or customer in the class. That is the real life setting. That is one context, means dialogue context, conversation context. I have taken this conversation and I'm going to include all the language functions inside the this conversation. And what I'm going to do here, look at here. See, students are asked to fill up the following table from the conversation: requesting, confirmation, reporting, information, suggesting. That means you students are going to write the sentence. Okay, that may be the question by the customers or the inquiry by the hotel or receptionist. So they are going to write some response below the requesting, confirmation, reporting, information, and suggesting. That is their what? Production. That is productive skills. They are writing something on. Yes, for this, student can make peer group on their one. That is the classroom setting. So teacher asks them to divide. Please make a group on the one with the teacher's help. While making the group, the teachers can help them. They can do discussion and share possible outcome with each other. Now, debate section. That is the practice section. So look at here. I have given another type of dialogue or conversation here. Please go through that and look at here. Students are given a blank conversation with some clues or similar real life context. So look at here. How can I help you today? I would like to. That means they are going to fill up these options. Yes, these options. Let me color it, and it will easy to understand. Okay. How can I help you today? I would like to say that means these are the options they are going to fill up in the given conversation. That is the usual activity we are doing in our real life context or real classes. So teacher asks students to do role play. After that, filling the gaps, they are going performing same dialogue in the class. And in number D, students are asked to fill the previous table. Again, the previous table means this table on the pieces of the second dialogue. Okay, they are again going to fill up this one. Okay. Okay, fill options in given activity section. In that activity section, in study section. So I'm at the end of that my answer. That is at the end. Please give the conclusion. Don't leave your answer without conclusion. That is the more. That is the good practice to give the conclusion. That means you have to conclude because you have given problem. So you have to conclude. That one, real life situation could be vital to render pragmatic notion and language function effectively at secondary level. The students will entertain with it because that is the real life situation, and the teacher feel what easy, confident, and comfortable to teach the language functions. Because of variety in language function, teacher has to sort out. Look at here, because yes, sort out required one and correlate with appropriate situation. Okay, that's my answer. Okay, if you need what? If you need PDF this file, yes, what you have to do, you have to support me. You have to support me to get PDF file, PDF file of this answer of this answer at rupees 10. Answer rupees 10. Okay, rupees 10 at so done. 9841171057. Okay, don't forget to support me. If you are going to support, I'm going to upload more videos. And again, I'm after this video, I'm going to upload the certain grammatical questions. How to deal with grammatical question, because if you have seen the previous years that TSC questions, you can see the grammar related or grammatical questions. So I think 5 or 10 marks questions, grammatical questions. So we have to be very cautious while dealing the grammatical questions. So I'm going to upload that video next time, and I'm going to upload the video regarding the science model science question as well. So it depends on your subscribe. That means you have to subscribe my YouTube channel and like, comment. Please give me some comments that will help me to change my delivering style or answering style or pattern, or that will positively boost me up. Okay, and in my next video I will give you some tips and techniques regarding how to write the answers effectively. So if you support me, uh, I will personally send you the link of my video and extra PDF files as well, regarding GK, IQ, and regarding the first paper, and regarding the other grammatical portions and other model answers as well. So don't forget to support me. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, all of you, for watching me. So support me to get PDF file of this answer at rupees 10 at the given number 9841171057. Okay, my next video will be on GK and IQ grammar tips and techniques. So subscribe my channel, like and comment. Okay. So thank you very much, all of you, for watching my video. Okay, thank you so much.